This is a major money-centered, goal-setting, success-making, go-getting week of 2024, and there's so much supportive astrology going on. It's insane. Well, hello there. I'm Cosmic Cannibal, and this is the Cosmic Cannibal podcast, your weekly report of all things astrology, from zodiac signs and planets to transits and horoscopes. And speaking of transits, planets, zodiac signs, and horoscopes, I've got your horoscope for the transits of the week of January 8th. And let me tell you, it is a very, very good week. So, yes, I'm just going to welcome you formally to this cosmic jackpot of a week we call January 8th through January 11th, because this is the week where it feels like the universe, the astrology, in a very, Willy Wonka way, is handing out golden tickets to pretty much anyone who is ready to hustle for their dreams. So that means you, right? Right. By this point in the year, you are, hopefully climbing the ladder of Capricorn season and, likely feeling the practical, pragmatic, maybe even money, career, and organizational vibes of the season in some way, in some shape or form. But you might also hopefully be conquering 2024 and hopefully tuning out some of the swarm of, new year who dis noise that arrives with every new year. And it's, really aggravating. Of course, if you're not feeling like you're conquering 2024, seeing as it's only the second week of 2024, and you're maybe not feeling some of those pragmatic organizational vibes of Capricorn season, don't worry. Instead, brace yourself for a week so loaded with prosperity vibes and so loaded with practical, pragmatic money and career and organizing, boosting astrology, you might just feel like you won the Capricorn lottery or some form of lottery. The jackpot, the Powerball, I don't know. Maybe you just feel like you received the golden ticket from Willy Wonka, which, by the way, that's the movie that's out. And Timothée Chalamet, who plays Willy Wonka in the movie, is a Capricorn. So that's just a fun fact. But I digress. It's true that this is a major money-centered, goal-setting, success-making, go-getting week of 2024. It's just, by and large, that's what this week is about. Because there's so much supportive, beneficial astrology happening this week, most of which is happening around the same day, i.e. the Capricorn New Moon, which makes it an excellent time to hone in and focus on any and all goals, ambitions, success, or, money-driven pursuits currently in your orbit. Now, that can mean a lot of things. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to set major, huge goals for the new year. Your goal might just be to stop spending so much time on TikTok. That's mine. Or, maybe you do have a really big career goal, or you have a really big, optimistic, largesse-driven ideation about 2024. I don't know if any of those words made sense, but they were coming out of my mouth anyway. That's cool too. And that's what this week is helping you hone in on and work through. So that's the quick lowdown of the week. But here's the quick lowdown of the transits of this week of January 8th through January 14th. So on the 9th, Mars in Capricorn sextiles Saturn in Pisces. January 11th, we have our Capricorn New Moon. January 12th, Mars in Capricorn trines Jupiter in Taurus. And then January 13th, Mercury, the planet of communication, enters Capricorn. Now, if you are a go-getting goal setter, or you're just interested in amping up your career, your finances, some sort of personal achievement, then you definitely want to mark these dates for your calendar or planner, iPhone, whatever. You want to do that this week, because here's the thing. With both astrology and success and the pursuit of success, you must seize the moment, burn the midnight oil, strike when the iron hot, and do, all the things that those idioms suggest you do to take advantage of these opportunities so that they actually pay off. By the way, you might have noticed, in the midst of all the ingresses, sextiles, and trines, we have our first new moon of 2024. This is, of course, the astrological highlight of the week, not only in my opinion, but, in general. And it's not just because new moons are primo days for planting seeds, both literally and figuratively. Check your farmer's almanac. But, setting intentions, that's really good on new moons, and starting or trying new things. But new moons are also primo days for opportunities, for goal setting, for success, ultimately. Yeah. And because this new moon is happening in Capricorn, which is arguably the most goal and success-oriented sign in the zodiac, you definitely want to pay attention to it. And I'll explain more on why that is in a moment. But now, onto the astrology. So, January 9th, Mars in Capricorn sextiles Saturn in Pisces. Mars entered Capricorn. January 4th, if you want your horoscope for that transit, check out my Substack, cosmiccannibal.substack.com. You know I had to get a promo in there somewhere. But Mars, you can kind of think of Mars as like the cosmic drill sergeant. It's actually exalted or operating at its highest level of achievement in Capricorn. So this is a really solid placement for this week. But when you have Mars creating a sextile or a harmonious, dialogue with Saturn, which is actually the ruler of Capricorn, this is really, really supportive astrology. It's supportive for your goals. It's really supportive for any and all career ambitions you have going into the new year. So if you're like, I'm going to get this job, or I want to apply for this job, or you just are even looking for jobs, this is going to give you a lot of support and endurance and just encouragement to dig in and really see through what it is that you're trying to do work-wise. So Mars is sort of like the cosmic drill sergeant. And when it's teaming up with Saturn, who's sort of like, the disciplined architect, it really just forms a powerful duo. And these two planets are helping you lay the foundations of your success, not just for the month, but, I would argue for the whole year, because Saturn in Pisces is going to be going on all 2024. But, this is such an auspicious week. It's the second week of January, so we're still sort of freshly into the new year, and there's so much new astrology to unpack and uncover. And with this Mars sextile Saturn transit, it's sort of like a construction project, and your ambitions, they're the blueprint, and hard work is the cornerstone, if I want to use a cheesy Bob the Builder inspired analogy. So really, you just want to use this energy to set realistic goals, prioritize your tasks, and watch your career skyscraper rise. But this is also a really good transit for money, because Saturn is sort of the builder of, an income, and Mars in Capricorn is like the workhorse of astrology. Now, January 11th, that's really the day that we want to focus on and we want to think about. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So January 12th, we have Mars in Capricorn trining Jupiter in Taurus. Now, Jupiter is the planet of expansion, abundance, and wealth. So Venus is the planet of money, and Jupiter is the planet of wealth, because it's like taking the money that Venus earns and attracts, and it expands and magnifies it. So Mars, we know, is our cosmic go-getter, and it's just sort of high-fiving Jupiter with this transit. And it's really a very potent and promising time for any sort of money endeavor. So if you have a side hustle, or if you are setting intentions for more money throughout the whole year, this is a good day to do that on. But I would argue that the Capricorn New Moon is a better day to do it on. But you really want to channel this energy into taking calculated risks, seizing opportunities, making opportunities for yourself, and expanding your professional territory, because it's sort of like having a business mentor guiding you to financial triumph. With Jupiter in Taurus, Taurus is such a money-minded sign, and Jupiter's the planet of wealth. So there's a lot of like buoyant feelings about money. And with Mars trining Jupiter, it's an accelerant. It's a bit of an agitator. It's the one that says, oh, go for it. Let's do that. Let's actually like make a plan for this sort of, whatever idea you get from Jupiter and Taurus. It's like, well, gosh, I wish I could have X amount of money and I just don't know how to do it. Mars in Capricorn is like, well, let's figure it out. And when Mercury enters Capricorn on January 13th, Mercury is the cosmic messenger. It's the communication planet. It rules over writing, speaking, planning, thinking. So it's sort of like donning its power suit when it enters Capricorn, and we're ushering into a more steadfast, more pragmatic, even more, business-minded executive boardroom of the zodiac. So your communication game, it's getting a promotion. You definitely want to use this transit moving forward to articulate your goals with authority, and this is especially important with the new moon. Granted, Mercury won't be in Capricorn on the new moon, but you want to apply that same rhetoric to the new moon. Network also. Mercury is the planet of networking. So in Capricorn, you want to network strategically, negotiate with finesse, and really watch how your words become the currency for your ambitions. So throughout this whole week, we have this sort of like go big or go home mantra, but I think the idea of mantras and affirmations as it relates to using them to fuel your goals or your manifestations or whatever word you want to use to call your achievements throughout a year has never been more potent and more important. And that brings me to the Capricorn New Moon, January 11th. It's happening at 6:58 a.m. Eastern Time, so that's 4:58 Mountain Time if you're around my neck of the woods. And this new moon is it's the first new moon of the new year, so there's a special, vibe to it. But it feels sort of like your personal New Year's or New Year's Eve. So it's definitely a time for the metaphorical confetti and for goal setting resolutions. Yeah, okay, we did that on January 1st, but it's just sort of the thing that we do collectively. And then by like January 7th, it's like, oh shit, I already started watching videos on TikTok again. But this new moon is more about like, I don't know, sticking to goals and really planting seeds that have a support system and a backing and a fertile soil to bloom beautifully all throughout 2024. So yeah, we technically do that New Year's resolution stuff on January 1st, but do these resolutions really grow into anything worthwhile? No. But with this new moon, because it's in a cardinal earth sign, and cardinal in astrology and earth in astrology, it's stubborn, it's strong-willed, it's initiatory, it is driving, it is enterprising, it's in Capricorn, and it's receiving support from Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter. It means that whatever your goals, whatever your intentions, whatever ambitions you set for yourself on or around this day, they have more gorilla glue and more miracle grow. And by which I mean they have more staying power, that's the gorilla glue metaphor, and the grit, and they have more likelihood to actually actualize. So miracle grow comes from Jupiter and Taurus, and technically we have these two transits. We have Mars in Capricorn sextile Saturn and Pisces on the 9th, and then we have Mars in Capricorn trine Jupiter and Taurus on the 12th. But it's on the 11th that these transits are still very much happening, and they're still close to one another, and it's just this fertile soil for planting seeds. I can't emphasize that metaphor enough. Now, Uranus and Taurus, it does trine this new moon, which heightens the excitement of it. It also increases the likelihood of a monetary windfall or a sudden unexpected opportunity to fall into your lap. No joke. Doesn't mean any of that will actually happen. It also gives this new moon a bit of a restless, just somewhat, I don't want to say erratic, but I use the word heightened excitement. I will stick with those two words to describe Uranus and Taurus trining the Capricorn New Moon, because I think that it just feels very New Year's Eve in energy, where it's like, oh, there's so much stuff on the horizon and something is about to happen, and there's a frenetic energy. There's a bit of a wild energy to it, which I feel helps, because we have all this grounding energy with Mars in Capricorn, Jupiter in Taurus, and then we have the compassionate but still pragmatic Saturn in Pisces. And then when you have Uranus thrown into the mix with this new moon, it just means that it's like, now's the time to really do something a little more bold, a little more audacious, a little more centered on your freedom as an individual, your originality as a person. So it's breaking you out of the limits of 2023. It's breaking you away from the past. It's being like, let's shake things up and let's actually, for once, do things differently heading into a new year. Because again, we do all these things with resolutions and yada, 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 and we do them every year. And then by the end of the month, most of the time we break them. And so I think this Capricorn New Moon on January 11th is really the new moon to break out of that pattern and do something different. It might make you feel a little restless, but I think you can channel that into your goals and whatever intentions that you set. Well, there you have it, your weekly forecast horoscope for January 8th through January 14th. It is definitely a supportive, beneficial, potentially wealth building new start to the year. I mean, that's really the takeaway that you want for a new moon. It's a fresh start. So even if you're not that into goal setting, or you're like, oh, this sounds really like Capricorn of you, Camille, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, it's still a usable and workable new moon, and it gives you this opportunity to just start afresh, start new, and really actually commit to making 2024 a workable year for you. Now, that said, if you want to set goals that last, you want to work with this astrology on the Capricorn New Moon, you want to understand more what the Capricorn New Moon means for you and your birth chart, and what these other transits and trines and Uranus and all that stuff is actually doing, and what you can do to set intentions or set goals that actually amount to something. I do encourage you to join me this Thursday for my Capricorn New Moon workshop. It's called Conquering 2024. It's an exclusive live workshop. Basically, it's your ultimate destination for setting goals and intentions that are infused with the unwavering determination and resilience of this new moon, so that you can just kick ass in 2024. That's why it's called Conquering 2024. I want you to be able to conquer 2024, and why not do it with me? If you want to learn more about that, you can check it out at cosmiccannibal.com. Of course, I have 2024 birth chart readings on my website as well, so you can transform your year. And if you're looking to do that with a community, then check out my new community, the Cosmic Collective. It's a brand new astrology membership community that I'm so excited about. You can actually try it for free for 14 days. That's also at cosmiccannibal.com. So all that promotional stuff out of the way, I hope you have a wonderful second week of 2024, and goodbye for now. Yeah.